Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Bitcoin with Elliott Wave Theory. Couple of advertisements here: Patreon Elliott Wave Basics course, weekly live streams and more Elliott Wave analysis. Udemy Elliott Wave Advanced course, including RSI, risk management, Elliott Wave strategies and time analysis, and counter-trend capital, trade setups, education and community. Check us out if you're interested in learning more. Here we are on daily time frame, and today we're looking at, again, macro to micro on Bitcoin, as we haven't talked about this for a week now since I was away. But in any case, let's start with the ABC count. That has been my main for quite a long time. In this one, again, the main idea is that we've had a three-way structure. We're looking for a connector of some sort here in the middle in form of wave X, and then we'd be looking for wave Y later on. Why I'm using log scale is just because, again, we are on higher time frame and that fits a bit better. Now, on arithmetic scale, of course, we can't really measure these things out, so that's why, again, is one of the reasons why I'm using log scale. If we are using extension targets here and would think that this X-way would be done here, we obviously can't even see the one-to-one extension. That's minus 22k, while on log scale it's a bit more reasonable, around 7.5k. Yeah, 618 minimum target, 12.6k, but again, we don't know if we have pivoted yet. That's the main idea. Other ideas is this one, where we have actually bottomed out, in which we had a five-way structure, a triple correction, in which we had a WXYZ in here. This is a bit more rare of a pattern, that's why I don't really prefer that, but it is there. This is the count that allows us to be bullish, and again, based on this being so rare of a pattern, the structure here is less probable overall, or the bullish scenario is overall less probable. Based on the ABC zigzag, the WXY overall pattern, this will be the wave X here, in which again we'd be looking for some kind of C wave. It's potential or possible to have a diagonal here, as we talked in previous videos as well. There's also a possibility that this is going to be a 1-2, 1-2, which would be more of that WXY, more bullish count fitting there better. Let's take a look closer on this one. Again, let's get rid of that. Again, we had other possibilities here as well, where this five-way move here would be a wave 1 or wave A. Then we'd be looking for a wave B here, and then C wave. Depending on whether you're using log scale or not, you would be getting closer or further away from the one-to-one. Arithmetic is pretty much almost there, but I definitely want to see that hit for this to become a potential ABC. If you're not hitting that one-to-one, there is definitely a possibility for being way more bullish as a 1-2, 1-2. Or of course that diagonal that we were just talking about, something like this. Again, for this one, we'd want to see it come back to these highs, get support from somewhere in here, this area, and then pivot up once more to get that last leg in, doing some kind of diagonal pattern. These were just some subwave targets, and again here on this is again arithmetic scale, we have hit the 0.618 or 1.618, sorry, retracement of this A wave for the B wave. So again, this is not the likeliest scenario anymore, which we were talking about before as well. Now, more locally, as we are driving in again, bullish scenario would be that this was a five-way structure. I was previously looking for a wave 2 here. I think it was around, let's see, when was I going away? Here. This was the last time I was looking at Bitcoin, and there was a slight chance that this was going to do something like that. But again, it's not really likely anymore. We're taking one-to-one extension in time already, which generally fits more into a B wave territory or something else. In this scenario, it's not really likely that this is a wave 1 of something anymore. But of course, on higher time frame, if we are comparing this potential 1-2, 1-2 scenario in here, depending on where you want to be pivoting that from, we can be seeing that one-to-one would be here around 9th of April, kind of very soon, tomorrow. So if this is going to be taking longer than this structure over here, it's no longer that likely that this indeed is a 1-2-1-2, again reducing the probabilities. The other bearish scenario would be that we had this as an ABC of some sort. Again, the probability is this is kind of low. There's not really good looking scenarios here at the moment, because again, the wave 2 is this size and wave 4 is this size, and you can definitely compare these two together and you can see that they're not very comparable in price or in time. So again, that makes the bear idea a bit wonky and not really that nice to look at least. So we don't need to be worrying about the structures here on these medium time frames. So let's just look at the smaller time frames, see if there is some kind of trade setups there that we could be looking for. Now, a couple of different ideas here very locally from these tops. One of them is saying that we had this is a wave, then we would have a ABC in the middle, having this phi wave being an end of something, and then we would have a C wave as a target downwards overall, as based on this. Now the issue is again time. It's very sideways here, so it does not really fit too well into being a C wave. For C waves, we want to have this as a wave 1, 2, and then starting to pivot from here. We did not do that. We instead had this potential 3 waves or into the here, and then some kind of 3 wave here, and then a partner leg here. So a 3-way structure into, in this scenario, X wave. And I think this looks best as 3 as well. You can fit a 1, 2 here as well. However, this is starting to take quite a long time here as well. But my bias is to the downside at this moment. There is a chance that this is indeed a 5-way structure here. Whether it's a partner leg to this, I'm not quite sure. It is smaller, significantly smaller, but it does hit the 0.618, which makes me a bit nervous about it. It would be kind of weird to have this as a wave A, B, and C to fit the whole thing in, but it would make a bit more sense that if this was a wave 1 of that third. So in this scenario, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, and then a 5-wave structure, and this would be that third wave. The only issue that I see with this count, however, is the size difference between wave A and the wave C, and obviously we can see that this structure just does not really look too good. Yeah, it's not proportionate at all, and even this last leg is starting to become kind of odd looking, but it's still there. It's still a possibility that we need to be tracking. Now, the other scenario that we were discussing previously was that we had this as a 3-way structure coming down, and instead of this becoming a end of something in this scenario, or the previous scenario it was this, but this would be a start of something new. In this scenario, again, we would have to keep on top of these lows, on top of the 26.5k give or take, and this would be a wave 1 or wave A. Now, based on previous structures, again, that would fit the idea that we would have a continuation to the upside already, but the issue is just the local structures that we have here. Again, we can agree that we have a 3-way structure here, but I'm not quite sure how we would be making this into a 5. Third here is actually the smallest. If we are comparing the extension targets here, we see that it is smaller than wave 1, and then we can see that it is actually smaller than wave 5 here as that wave 5. So again, it can't be expanding or any kind of multi-way structure. So at this point we would have to agree that this whole thing would need to come lower, and at that point it would be this. Whether this is a start of or an end of something, it does not matter at this point, because again, in order for this to become any kind of impulsive structure or having a partner leg later on, we would need to finish this smaller leg first. So my bias is still to the downside on this scenario as well. So most likely I'm expecting these lows to be taken out, the liquidity from there, And if this indeed is that far away that we are talking about, looking for a 3-wave here and then dump downwards. We'll see how long or low that takes us. But again, 1 to 1 is already down, all the way down here, 26.8k, give or take a few tens there. But yeah, that is the idea here locally. At the moment, I would not be looking for long setups here. I'm still on the longs on the couple altcoins that I had at the week start. But again, they're not looking too well, and I might want to be exiting those positions sooner rather than later. Again, if this turns into being more of a 5-way structure later on, 1, 2, and then some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not quite sure how I would want to be labeling this. Maybe there is a chance that this was some kind of A, B, and C. Again, some kind of very odd looking structure. We would hit the 0.618 here, but again, we would be in the middle of 1 to 1 and the 0.618 here. So again, does not really fit too well. Bitcoin is a bit weird at the moment. ETH is way more impulsive or way more bullish, as it has taken out these highs already with its price action. I think it was this point here that took out the highs. So again, ETH does not allow us to have this as 1, 2 and coming down. But it could be, of course, that Bitcoin and ETH are not holding hands together on this count very locally, but overall they are moving in the same direction. But I think that is the expectations that I have for the local structures and the higher time frames. I've shown you the macro as well, which I think is somewhat important still. But again, I'm looking for the local corrections to be made before any kind of a larger move to be happening. Again, we are still in the same range. Of course, we could be looking at the same structures and same things that everyone else is doing, like the point of controls of these ranges, for example, this one. But again, you can take a look at those on your own. Not really too important to me. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Again, if you're interested in learning more, check out the Udemy course, Easter coupon code for the discount, if you're interested in that. And Patreon, of course, weekly live streams and the basics course for Elliott Wave. CTC for more trade setups and education as well. Thanks for watching and see you on the next video. Bye bye.